So if you are not a Harry Potter fan, this video probably will not make any sense to you at all. And also, why aren't you a Harry Potter fan? Because it's the best. But you can certainly go look it up and maybe it'll make sense, or, watch some other video, whatever you want to do. But I was a couple of days ago sitting at my therapist's office, my counselor, and I had gotten there a little bit early that day for whatever reason, and I'm sitting in the waiting room, but it's kind of like they have two waiting rooms. So there's one that's like the main one, and then you go around the hall and there's like a little back waiting room, and that's where I was, and I was the only person back there. And I'm sitting there, I've been there a few minutes, and I'm like deep in thought, because I've been working on not pulling out my phone in moments like that. I've been working on using that for like prayer or whatever. And so I'm just like deep in my thoughts, and all of a sudden I hear, and I was like, what? And they had one of those, you've seen these like in gas stations and stuff, like one of those deals up on the wall that just randomly poofs out smelly stuff. And it was thick. It was like literally a poof in the air. And it scared me, but then I just laughed so hard. I just laughed because how ridiculous is that? It's like a piece of equipment on the wall that just randomly poofs out smelly good stuff. Like it was, and the fact that it scared me was really crazy too. And so I'm thinking about this, and I know that was not an accident, because I normally don't wait there. It was the waiting room was full, and so I went to the back one. And it happened because I've been working on something, people call it different stuff, but pattern interrupt, basically, is what it's called. And I thought about that because I'm sitting here and I was deep in thought and I was having this going on, and then that sound interrupted me, and it was like ridiculous. And so if you watch Harry Potter, do you guys like, I don't know, I am a fan, but one of the things that they have is a boggart. Anyway, and it takes the form of whatever you're most afraid of. So it'll be different for everybody, and it'll be whatever your greatest fear is. But the way to defeat it is to use the Ridikilus spell, which then immediately turns it into something totally very silly that will make you laugh, and it's not as scary. So I've been struggling this year based on repeated experiences that have happened to me. I have some triggers that kind of set me off with anxiety, and just in general worrying about my life right now. There's a lot of unknowns in my life right now. So I have these moments of what if, or what am I going to do, or what happens when those kinds of questions are coming up. And it's very easy to go down that road, like I can travel that for hours probably. Or, harboring anger and getting into self-pity and being like, why did this happen to me? How could that have happened? Getting angry and basically self-pity. And I just was struggling really hard because I'm like, I don't know how to get out of that pit once I'm in it. Especially if it was a trigger, something that would kind of, it is a trauma response of some things that have happened over a lot of years. And once you're triggered, like you can't speak logic to somebody. Anyone watching this, you guys, if you've had that experience, other people don't really know, they don't understand it, because they're like, there's nothing to be afraid of, like this boggart isn't really what you're scared of, it's just looking like it. And that's like, we know that later after the fact, but in the middle, it's like, no, this is really scary. I'm really terrified right now. But pattern interrupt is something I'm learning. And I have developed these little things, rituals, I guess you could call them, but things that I do to interrupt when that's happening. So I have some songs on my phone Or I have a couple of videos that are saved, like some Facebook videos and some YouTube playlists that I have, that I just go interrupt my pattern with something, positive, or sometimes I just watch something funny to just take my mind off. And it's kind of like that air freshener. It just like in the middle of all this crazy stuff that's happening, takes my mind off and makes something that can be, if I let myself do that, I could completely fall apart, and have, based on the uncertainties of my life right now. But like, I don't want to take life so seriously all the time. So having something ridiculous to think about or to go do, and it has really helped a lot. So, surprisingly, not focusing on bad things has been a really good thing for me. But I wanted to share that because I know that a lot, I'm not the only person. Maybe you don't have like panic attacks or anxiety episodes, but everybody, I think, at a certain level worries about what happens if, I lose my job, or I've lost my job. What am I going to do? Or, a relationship fails, or things with your kids, or I don't know. There's like a zillion things that people could worry about. So, I don't know. I encourage you guys to think about what that might be for you. Music is big for me. Not everybody likes music. It could just be something else that you do. So, see y'all later. Bye.